conversation. All right, so welcome everybody to the very first webinar in our PassPlay webinar series, specifically for arts and cultural professionals. I'm so excited about this topic that we have today. We're going to be talking all about the membership funnel and how to convert guests into loyal members, something that everybody could use, right? And this is our crew for the day. I am going to introduce everybody in just a minute, but before I do that, I'm going to go over a few housekeeping items. By now, I'm sure everybody is very familiar with how to use Zoom, but the audio is broadcast through your computer. So if for any reason it should freeze, you should be able to just close right out and rejoin and be good to go. We will be answering any of your questions at the end, so please feel free to drop those in. You can pull out the Q&A specific widget to ask us questions in there, but we also love comments, so feel free to comment on anything as we go. And I will say, because we are answering the questions at the very end of the webinar, it's super helpful if you're as detailed as possible in your question. So if your question happens to be for me or Jana or Matt, then please just say for Matt, and then your question, so that it isn't more like, oh, talk more about that. And it's like, oh, that was 20 minutes ago, and I don't really remember exactly what we were talking about. So just be super specific. We'll get to those at the end. All right, well, without further ado, I will introduce our panel, starting with Jana. So she serves as the guest services and events manager at Sunset Zoo, where she oversees memberships, events, the gift shop, ticket booth, concession, and all those operations. So that is a very big job. You wear a lot of hats, as many of us do in arts and cultural world. She's also currently acting as the zoo's marketing and development officer, helping lead campaigns and communication strategies that support conservation and community engagement. So you're literally doing all the things right now. She's been at Sunset Zoo for 4 years, and she has a big passion for creating meaningful guest experiences and watching people connect with conservation, a passion that perfectly aligns with her success in growing and promoting the zoo's membership program. Her favorite animal at the Sunset Zoo is the ever fascinating spotted hyena. Oh, love that. Very Lion King. And when she's not at work, Jana enjoys life in, ooh, is it Wamego? Did I say it right? Ooh, okay. Props to me for saying that right. With her partner, her toddler, and her lovable husky mix. And we'll move on to Matt, who has told me his bio is definitely not as exciting as Jana's. So that's okay. Matt is working out of Nashville, Tennessee, and he has been with Speak Creative since 2002. I think you might have the award for longest Speak employee besides our founder. Yeah, I thought so. He leads our design, development, and project and product teams. He has helped Speak take its first steps into the cultural attractions industry years ago, and has been at the forefront of Speak's effort to continually increase the quality of services that we offer. He has extensive experience leading projects that integrate with pretty much every prominent membership management system or ticketing system. So that is Matt. And then we have myself. So I am a proud arts and cultural lover. Before coming to Speak, I actually worked in museums for 8 years, and I also wore all the hats, doing everything from membership to archives to education to fundraising to development, all the things, as all of us arts and cultural professionals tend to do. I have degrees in history and museum studies from Clemson University, huge Tiger fan over here, and also the College of Charleston and the Citadel. I have been the director of agency marketing at Speak, which I'll get into Speak versus PassPlay in just a minute if that's confusing, for 2 years. And I'm super passionate about connecting arts and cultural organizations to technology and marketing to help power these amazing groups that I'm so passionate about. Before that, I was at Blackbaud for 3.5 years, working for arts and cultural organizations in marketing and membership as well. And I live in Charleston, South Carolina with my new husband, just got married a month and a half ago. And I love going to all the museums here in town in my spare time. And I drag my husband along with me, but he likes it now. I've converted him. All right, so that's a little bit about us. Here is our agenda for the day. So you know, subject to change. We may go a couple over with some of these minutes, but that's the plan. And I have been talking about Speak a lot. So if you are only familiar with PassPlay, or just familiar with Speak Creative is the parent brand, and PassPlay is our arts and cultural arm of our business. As Matt mentioned, we have been working with arts and cultural organizations for a long, long time, and we have so many lovely clients there that we have brought to you PassPlay, which does all the things which we'll talk about later. But if you are confused, there's the differentiation there. All right, and Speak plus PassPlay absolutely loves partnering with arts and cultural organizations. They make up the widest majority of our clientele for sure. Here are just a few of the organizations that PassPlay works with. We do digital membership, websites and marketing, apps and integrations, of course, digital membership, which we're going to talk a little bit about today, member engagement, which is really just the crux of our organization, and ticketing calendars, which is one of our newer offerings as well. And here are just some of the things that PassPlay does. Like I said, digital membership cards, loyalty program, which is super exciting, which I'll touch on in a minute. And we do integrate with all the major membership systems, and we can even work with spreadsheets. So we work with everybody. All right, so I'm going to kick us off here by talking about the membership journey. So you guys are probably all familiar with a customer journey. Think of like Nike or any big kind of clothing or product company that you love. They all have something called a customer journey, sets of guide points that they like their people to follow to ultimately lead to a purchase. Well, there's no reason why we as arts and cultural professionals can't think of membership in the same way. And you can actually treat it like a marketing funnel. So what exactly do I mean by that? Like the customer journey, this is going to be a path of interactions that someone has with your organization from their point of view. Just because I'm curious, in the chat, if this is something that you currently do or don't do, throw it in there. I love to see what you guys are doing at your organizations. Now, if I think the majority of our people on here are in the membership field, you guys can actually create a map based on the different types of members that you have at your organization to help guide them to membership. And then you can use those same kind of personas to then guide them through becoming more loyal and engaged with your organization. Now, I have a couple visuals that I will take us through to give a little bit more detail on exactly what I'm talking about. But this is really great for several reasons. One, it can help you identify gaps in communication and engagement. So when I say that, I have a graphic that I think is going to be super helpful in showing you the different stages of basically the marketing funnel, but in terms of membership, and how you can actually reach those people with different parts of technology. So we're going to get to that in a minute, but it can help you realize where you're falling short and where you need to be really interacting with your members on a more intentional basis to get them to continue to renew year after year and feel more connected to your organization. I know when I used to be at a museum in Charleston, we really viewed our members kind of like a normal ticket buyer, but almost like a staff person. Our members were our biggest fans, our biggest supporters, and our biggest allies. They were the ones who were getting their friends to join as members. They were the ones who were donating more and being our biggest advocates. So we want to make sure that they feel like they are a very important part of our organization, almost like a staff member. So it'll help you really identify ways that you can get more engaged with them, and so that they feel a bit of an ownership in your organization. I would also recommend you create segmentation in all the different types of patrons you come in. So I'm going to just touch a little bit on member personas in a minute, but you can actually do kind of the same thing with patrons to help you target who would be a good candidate for membership. So you can specifically get on their level and speak to them with a relevant offer of membership. And then I would also recommend you map out a clear nurture track to find more potential memberships. So many of you already have really powerful membership and ticketing CRMs that will do a lot of this work for you, but it can't do the work for you unless you tell it exactly what you're looking for. So we'll talk about that a little bit as well. And then I already mentioned this, but member personas are huge. If you're able to take a look at who's buying tickets from you or who in your community might be a good candidate for membership, putting them into groups of people allows you to craft a pitch that will directly resonate with them. All right. So this might be a little bit blurry. I am going to go through this graphic, and I will say we also have an awesome resource on the member journey in the resources section of our website that has this graphic, because I would totally recommend you taking this, and you can even erase some of the words and put in some more words that are relevant to your organization. But this is going to be extremely helpful for you if you think of membership like a marketing funnel. So I'm going to start with the beginning. Oh, I should have asked you guys if anybody knew the 5 stages of the marketing funnel, but that's okay. That can be a game for another day. So the first thing is awareness. Are people aware of what membership is like at your organization? So I'm sure many of you, if not most of you, have your front desk staff trained really well. They already have a membership pitch that they say. Maybe you have something printed off that's either on your front window or on the front desk suggesting they become a member. But this is the biggest thing, is to make sure that anybody who comes to visit your organization, whether they're just buying a ticket for a normal day, they're attending a special event, they're just presented with the offer of membership. And there's so many ways to do this. So here on my screen, you can see a variety of ways. Digital ads are something you could absolutely be doing along with SEO. Like I was just mentioning, your current members referring their friends is one of the best ways to get more members. Social media, if you're not already plugging membership regularly with social media, definitely do that. A lot of you offer gift memberships, and that's a great thing as well. And then just to kind of explain my larger graphic here, I have the technology points needed to achieve that stage. So here it would be, your member or your patron's device, their phone, their computer, whatever they're looking at. And then of course your website, making sure your website is super strong as well. All right, so once they're aware of what membership is like at your organization, the next focus, which is the biggest one, is definitely the acquisition stage. So whether they're hearing about what membership looks like at your organization from your front desk person, they're seeing an ad on social media, maybe they've come once and they've gotten an email just saying, look, we know you came. You can apply the cost of your tickets today to a membership, which if you're not already doing that, I would highly recommend it. It always gets people to join when you tell them just about the value and the money they can save by applying their tickets from that day to a membership. Interacting with staff, again, if they're not getting hit with it right at the front desk, maybe you can train your gift shop staff to mention it and also have that touch point as well. Another thing that I had a lot of clients do is a post-visit survey. So usually when somebody buys tickets to your organization online, you're provided with the email. It is a missed opportunity if you are not having some sort of automation where they're getting a follow-up from you. If they've come to the zoo, had a great visit, and then they get a survey in the email, they're super likely to fill that out. And then you get their feedback and you can hit them with another membership offer. And then we have email, of course. So then the other part of the acquisition stage is somebody actually becoming a member and having a really clear process on how you can steward them as a new member is extremely critical to getting them to not only just be a one-time visitor, but become someone who is super engaged. So then we move to the engagement stage. So many people join organizations just because they think they're saving money. They've applied their tickets from the membership to joining. Maybe they'll come one more time to make their membership worth it in their eyes of how much money they're spending. But we don't want people who are just coming once or twice. We want those members who are going to be our biggest mouthpieces. We want them to support us, shout us out on social media, refer people to join, come back again and again, come to your summer camp, send their kids, that sort of thing. So in order to get more engaged members, we have to engage with them the way they want to be engaged with. So offering things like members only programs or members only discounts just gives them that extra perceived value that they're looking for out of a membership, which will then get them to continue to renew and stay engaged. Also highly recommend a member newsletter. If that's not something that you're already doing, apart from the regular newsletter that you send out, I also highly recommend it just because it is just additional value that they feel like they're getting. And you can use that opportunity to share sneak peeks, new exhibits, special opportunities, chats with a curator or an animal keeper, that sort of thing. And that step definitely means you're using every technology tool you have in your arsenal, your CRM, of course, digital membership cards, should you do them, and then the surveying as well. And then, of course, we move on to the retention phase. So many people will join for 1 year, and then if they aren't using the membership, or they only use it once, or they're not seeing the value out of it, they're not going to renew. And that's absolutely not what we want, because we want members who are engaged and renewing, because that is revenue that you can count on year after year. So ways to make sure that you are able to retain your members include things like lapsed emails and postcards. If you have, depending on what your solution, a lot of these things can be automated. For example, PassPlay does do automatic renewals, which is really awesome. A lot of other tools and CRMs have that opportunity as well, but can't recommend enough a tool that sends them a reminder on their phone and then helps them to renew right away. Also, if you are able to regularly remind them of their membership benefits, they're more likely to renew as well. Because if they're really just seeing it as entertainment for 1 or 2 times a year, that's probably not enough for them to want to keep joining and being a member year after year. But constant reminders of what they're getting with their membership beyond just free admission really is what sets it over. And then the last step in our funnel is going to be loyalty. So once we have our members hooked, they see the value in our organizations, they want to keep getting more engaged. So that means bigger donations, bigger involvement in your camps, classes, and programs, bringing friends, getting others to join. Maybe they love it so much they're giving a gift membership to their kids or friends, so on. But this is the way that you continue to foster loyalty, is getting them to continue to see the value out of the membership and giving special things to them, because loyal members are the ones that we want. They're the ones that are going to go out into the community and be our biggest advocates. All right, so all that being said, we've just talked about a lot very quickly. I'm going to go over a new member engagement plan. So part of that new member engagement plan first means creating member personas. So I have 4 member personas that are pretty general that I've outlined here, but depending on what type of organization you are, whether you are a children's museum or a zoo or aquarium, a public garden, your personas are likely to be different than these basic ones here. So I would just love it in the chat if anybody wants to throw out some personas that either they already have, or if they're working on it. I'm just curious to see how you guys segment your potential members and your members. So throw in there who you have now, and I'll keep chatting through these. So creating member personas really is critical to make sure we're getting the correct message in front of each audience. So this is something that you can do both with your current membership base and your target audience for who you would like to see become a member. So for example, oh, love the dinks. I always joke about being a dink, even though my new husband has a stepdaughter. So I think we said that we're discs, which is funny. So double income, one kid. But I do love the term DIG. I think that's very funny. So I'll start with the busy parent. So a lot of you have parents who have several children. They're always looking for some activity for their kids to do on the weekend. And a perfect example of this would be giving them a pitch of doing your family membership program. They can come in, have fun as a family, take full advantage of all your organization has to offer. So that pitch for that group is going to be very different for a pitch for a young professional or a grandparent or any other ones that you have. So the grandparent, so let's say, I even put names and ages with this. So you can get as granular as you want with it. You don't have to be as specific, but sometimes it's nice to really be thinking about our audience like that. So let's say you have a grandparent group. So they've got 4 grandkids. Maybe they're oftentimes looking after kids, especially in the summer. So your pitch there should be, maybe you even offer a special grandparent membership level in your membership program. And you want them to come, you want them to bring the kids. Memory making is going to be huge with this group. So make sure that your offer to them is super clear. It shows every detail they could need. I've even included like you're stroller friendly, if they have a really small grandbaby, and fun weekday experiences. Maybe kids get out of school around 2:30, the parent's still working, the grandparent picks them up from school. You can offer special programming after school where the grandparent brings the kids to the museum or to the zoo, so on. And then I've got 2 more. So someone did mention this, adult only programming. Yes, for people who are young professionals in this category. Something that a children's museum I used to work with did that I think is so cool was the museum after dark. So they opened up the museum, no kids, just for young professionals like 20s and 30s. They got wine and beer and got to pretend to be a kid and go through all the exhibits, because a lot of children's museums don't allow anyone in who doesn't have, like a child under 12 with them, which obviously I understand why, but it gives them an opportunity and it opens you up to a new demographic of people who might not have come otherwise. So just making it seem like it's just a fun way to engage, meet people, network. That's going to be what that crowd wants to do with their membership. And then maybe you have a large group of teachers in the area and you want to target teachers for a special teacher level of your membership program. So maybe that means they get discounted admission for field trips. As a museum educator, that's something that I used to work on a lot. I would also have special educational resources that were only available to those who had that special teacher membership. So these are just 4 examples of what you can do, but I highly recommend your membership team take a look at your base and how you can segment these groups, because giving them specific pitches allows them to see really the value of their membership and gives them something tangible other than just being able to come in for free. And then my last thing before I'm going to hand it off to Jana is a new member engagement plan. So this is something that if you don't already have clear steps on this, and the one I'm going to show you right now is a very general one, but if you even want to get really specific and have separate stewardship plans for each of those personas, even better. All right, so we've got our new zoo member here. And what we want to do is figure out how to best steward that person into a greater relationship with us. So even before this person joins as a member, the best way to reach out to potential new members is hitting them with either a direct piece of mail or an email with a membership offer after their visit. Depending on what CRM you have, I'm sure you get lists of your ticket buyers for that day with their emails. Very easy to set this automation and drop them into that so that they are receiving that from you. Now, after they join, if your organization does digital membership cards, one of the perks of the digital cards is that they can get it right away, and there's no kind of manual hassle on the team to have to print out hard cards, stuff them in envelopes, and send them, which isn't instant. It can take a couple weeks. But if you do digital membership at your organization, them getting it immediately is really exciting. Who doesn't like instant gratification? That little hit of dopamine, immediate satisfaction, get the card. Maybe they'll even come back later that week because they've already gotten it. But just really clear explanation of their benefits with a welcome kit always goes a long way. All right, next, after they've just joined, you don't want them to drop off. They're really excited that they've just joined. They're looking for additional value kind of right away beyond just being able to come back for free. So inviting them to members only events is going to be huge. So whether it's an insider preview night, maybe you have a new changing exhibit coming soon, or a special feeding. If you're a zoo or aquarium, invite them to that. Immediate perceived value with your membership. Now, as you continue to give value to them in terms of content, special newsletters, I actually had a couple zoos and aquariums have a members only Facebook group, which worked really well. I don't know, different demographics use Facebook, but I would say predominantly the like 30 and up crowd is still using it. I don't update mine frequently, but I am a member of a few groups and I do love seeing content that goes in there. So that's something to consider as well. But just keep giving them opportunities and experiences to increase their loyalty, because then people who want to keep interacting with your organization are probably going to be more likely to start becoming donors if they're not already, or increase their membership level. So depending on how your membership programs are set up, maybe a family membership has a couple levels where if they up their membership level, they get a few more benefits and so on. So making sure those offers are in front of them regularly is going to be key. Next, assuming that they've had the best year ever of being a member with all these perks you've offered them, they're going to either renew at their same level or they're going to upgrade based on the opportunities that you've presented them. And then lastly, these people, as they continue to renew year after year, they're really going to become your greatest allies and champions of your organization. So I know I just threw a ton of information out very quickly. I am going to make these slides available after the webinar if anybody wants to use any of this information, and especially that graphic on the funnel. All right. Oh, I lied. I have one more quick slide, but yeah, I just highly recommend just regularly going in and making lists of what you're doing now and things you can be doing in the future. So here's just an example. Maybe, you're doing everything right, but there's still some new things you could be doing. We talked about young adult socials. We threw out some ideas for different events you can do to hit different populations in your supporter base. But just always keep in the back of your head what you're currently doing well, and then what opportunities you have moving forward. Something that I haven't touched on yet that Matt is going to touch on. Another great way to really engage with members is to offer a loyalty program. That's something that PassPlay does. And the way this came about internally for us were, there are rewards programs out there from everyone to Starbucks and Chick-fil-A to Lululemon and Adidas. Why not arts and cultural organizations? We want to reward our members for being loyal too. So that's something that you can think of adopting as well. All right, that being said, I am going to turn it over to Jana. So I'm going to give you remote control of my screen and you should have it there. All right, go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jana. I'm with Sunset Zoo. I know that we touched on the membership stages, and kind of seeing those in action is kind of what I'm going to talk about today. There we go. So before we jump in, I want to give you a little bit of a background about Sunset Zoo. We are a 42-acre park with only 26 acres developed, so we are a very small facility. in Manhattan, Kansas. We have a population of 53,682, which is pretty big for our size town because we have Kansas State University as well as an Army base, Fort Riley, nearby. So our demographic is very broad. Sunset Zoo is governed underneath the city under the Parks and Recreation Division. We are an accredited facility through AZA with our mission of inspiring conservation of the natural world. Last year, we saw 92,468 guests pass through our gates, which was an all-time record, so we were very thrilled with that. And in previous years, we've seen somewhere between 73 to 75,000. For membership, we currently have 1,880 households as members, which includes over 7,500 individual members. We have a total of 20 full-time staff, and that does include 8 keeper staff. So we wear many hats while we're here. As mentioned in the intro, I oversee the membership program, the zoo events, gift shop, ticket booth, and concession stand operations. The variety in this position does allow me to get to know the guests, the members, and what their needs are. Okay. Quick overview on how our memberships are built. We do have 6 basic membership options. Kind of touched on before as well, those options for all the different populations you would see and different kind of characters that you would have in your community. So we have one that starts at the senior level, and then it goes into a plus, which means that they can bring like their grandkids, and then all the way up to a family plus, which does include a one unnamed guest at every visit. It's something different that we changed this year and that has been really greatly received. Like I said, we have 6 different memberships. They basically go up in $10 increments. And those other ones are just individual members. And then we have our family memberships. We also have Directors Club memberships, and there's 4 of those. And those are our options with a built-in donation so that people who are our donors can kind of get, kill 2 birds with 1 stone type of option. The extra perk for them through PassPlay is that we ensure that all of our directors level members start with 750 PassPlay points, that's a mouthful to say, in their account so that they can redeem those points to get their family, friends, and then start redeeming some rewards. We do also have corporate memberships. We have 3 options for that. They range from a bulk membership of 20 to 100 memberships. And the price range for that is $1,800 for 20, 50 memberships for $4,100, and then our 100 memberships are $7,900. The fun thing with this one is that our corporate memberships include an outing at the zoo in the evening during any weeknight. It's kind of like a little corporate outing. It's super fun. And then single-use passes depending on each level to give away to clients and customers. So besides our admission into the facility for a year, we offer a ton of great perks, like free or discounted tickets to special events. Of course, we're an AZA reciprocity member, so all of our members get 50% at the other participating facilities. Participation in our amazing loyalty program that I'll touch on in a little bit. We also have a newsletter that's exclusive to our members. And so recently we had Tiger Cubs, and we made sure that they knew first that they were going to be on visible to the public before the public even knew. So once again, offering those kind of exclusive behind the scenes for them. We also have members only events that I'll touch on as well. We have discounts on zoo classes and birthday parties, and that includes our camps that fill within the first 5 minutes of them being open every year. Members save $25 on each day of camp. So it is a huge savings. It's an amazing program that we have with our education department. We also offer discounts in the gift shop and concession stand, between 10 to 20%, depending on what our product is that we're pushing. And then something fun that we added last year was complimentary popcorn each visit from our concession stand, because your members aren't going to come just to the concession stand just for the free popcorn. They're always going to end up buying something as well. All right. Besides the membership benefits mentioned before, we do have 4 exclusive options for our members to come enjoy. So our first one is Films for Foz. It is our outdoor movie, which is kind of depicted there in that right picture. We have an outdoor pavilion. It's limestone bleachers, so it's super comfortable for a movie. And then we pop up a large screen, and it's super fun. It's outdoors. We do it once a year. And then The other ones that we do is a mission membership breakfast. That one will be coming up here in June. It's out at our new pavilion at Expedition Asia, and it's just a thank you breakfast for our members. And then we have two other options. Clearly, we don't have a pool or an ice skating rink at our facility, but we are a part of the city, as I previously mentioned. So we do get to use those city facilities for a discount, and they've got great availability since we are another city facility. We also have a really cool opportunity with a local farm called A&H Farms, where we do member appreciation days. So our members get to go to the farm 7 times a year for free. And all we do is swap with them for their staff comes out here and does a retreat once a year. And so I'm like, that's like the greatest swap ever, and our members love it. We've actually had people recently buying zoo memberships just to go to this farm. So like it's been absolutely crazy and super fun, and we love that community partnership. Membership campaigns, so our feel good to kind of hook members into becoming members is we have a Zoo for All program. So during the holiday season, if you renew your membership, you can also buy a membership or a portion of a membership for a community family in need. We partner with our local school district for those families so that it's a little bit more anonymous. And yeah, I think last year for the first time doing the program, I think we had 15 memberships, which is super, super great. And then once again, especially for those families, I saw someone else in the chat talk about the EBT cards as well. Like it just kind of helps with those families. And we're also part of Museums for All for that as well. We do a combo zoo parent, which is our adopt an animal program and membership renewal, so that like you can get a discount on your membership or on your zoo parent. And then we do some mailers in Q1 with all of our lineups for zoo events and our upcoming programs that might be new from the education department or fun facts. And so that goes out every year in the first quarter before Party for the Planet, which is our April event. And then, of course, always a huge shout out to the digital membership card for convenience and less plastic, because that's amazing. Okay, moving on to converting guests from guests to loyal conservation champions. So we have events. Of course, I touched on our members only events, but we also have 2 FOZ sponsored, that's our Friends of Sunset Zoo sponsored events each year that are driven by our Friends of Sunset Zoo board, and that board is made up of our friends members. So we have Wine in the Wild and Brew at the Zoo, and those fundraisers go directly to our conservation initiatives at Sunset Zoo. And everybody is always super involved. And of course, there's a perk. If you volunteer at those events, your ticket is free. So once you're done volunteering, you could also enjoy, which is also a very nice perk for our board members and our volunteers. At our other major events that are more family friendly, we have a special event QR code that members can scan at our Friends of Sunset Zoo table to learn to add more points. So we have our QR code for that is like 200 points. So people are enticed to get to our table to learn about the connection between conservation and what their membership does. Our Friends of Sunset Zoo board tables at all of our events to convert non-members into members. We do use promotional items like reusable baggies, clear fanny packs. We're in a college town, so that's a big thing to make sure that they can get into the stadiums. And then things like popsicles, more conservation-focused things is traditionally what we go towards. But when you have an event in August, popsicle hits the spot. Just to entice people to kind of come to the table, learn a little bit more about being a member and what it means to conservation. Social media wise, we do a lot of frequent social media posts outlining what membership does for conservation and the efforts that we support. A lot of people think that membership is just getting into the zoo for the year for free. So we try to make the connection in that tie that they are helping local and global conservation efforts. We also do a lot of radio spots and ads, and we tend to see a lot of return on investment for those. For upselling, I know this is touched on as well, but yes, we have a program as well that if you buy your tickets to the zoo, you can convert that and take that money off of a membership and turn that into a membership that day. We also just had ticket booth monitors installed on the outside so that we can start promoting membership as people are walking in as well, instead of just at the end of their purchase. And those will have our normal admission pricing, events, and then of course our membership. So here's a few pictures of what our signage looks like right when you enter the zoo. You can see in that third picture as well, it's a little tiny one, but those are our QR codes so that people can scan their codes and get points through PassPlay. And then that's our beautiful sign that an intern a couple years ago designed, and it's right at the entrance at our ticket booth. And then that middle table is what our Friends of Sunset Zoo table looks like with some of our fun prizes. And then you can also see a little bit on the table that there is a QR code and another one of those big posters kind of shrunk down into a smaller one talking about what the PassPlay loyalty program is all about. So our digital cards, it's easier access into our facility and way less plastic, which is a sustainability goal of ours as part of our conservation plan. So we are thrilled that we have PassPlay for that. It allows us to connect with our members beyond the gate, making their experience more seamless, interactive, and impactful. How we use PassPlay is that each visit members can earn up to 130 points by scanning QR codes located in 7 locations throughout the zoo. We do have our pop-up points, like I previously mentioned, for our special events, which is a 200-point QR code, which is a big ticket item. And then at our A&H Farm Days, like I mentioned, for our member appreciation, we do have a 10-point one, as well as Wonder Spots, which are our education tabling, and then anything else that we see necessary. Like I just sent a newsletter a couple weeks ago with like 5 extra points for opening this newsletter, just to kind of see what type of traction our newsletter was getting besides the data that we get from the back end of that. We have 7 rewards for redemption as well, ranging from 150 points to 2,000 points. Our rewards include free coffee, tea, or cocoa at the concession stand, a free refill on soda or slush, which during the summer, slush is always running out because of this. Free stickers, free single-use guest pass, free single-use family pass, and then 30% off of animal art and 50% off of plush. Because we are a smaller facility, it is hard to give away some of those bigger ticket items for free. So the percentages have really helped us, and we've seen a lot of people actually still redeem those. I promise I'm clicking. All right. That's all I have from Sunset Zoo. Once again, if you have any other ideas that you would like to expand upon, you can shoot me an email or give me a call. Or if you have any questions, of course, for me, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you so much.
Right. Well, great. I think you guys can pretty easily see why we picked Sunset Zoo to talk about PassPlay and to talk about membership stuff. They have done some fantastic work, great thought leadership, have done a really great job of creating just experiences that are really beneficial. So thank you, Jana, for that so much. So on my side of things, I get to talk about PassPlay, the product, and that's because I hopefully know it as well as anybody else. And obviously, the digital membership card is a pretty simple concept to understand. Like Jana said, it's less plastic. There's no shipping expenses that you have with cards or printing expenses, and then you have to deal with lost cards. Our membership system integrates directly with just about any CRM or gate membership management system that you could be working with, and we've worked with just about all of them, so we understand their constraints and have good ways to get around them. And so I can talk more specifically about how our membership card system works. And if you have questions, I'll put them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them at the end. But what I really want to talk to you about for a few minutes today is what else can you do with your members via PassPlay, really beyond just the idea of a digital membership card. So once you convert your guest into a member, what can you do to drive value to keep them renewing on time every year? I have a few ideas to share with you guys as we go. If there are other ideas that you have, throw them in the chat. We'd love to talk about them, bring them up, and yeah. So digital membership, the membership details. First of all, you're restricted with a printed card as to how much information you can apply. You can supply your member when they use it, but here, we really do a good job of bringing out more information about your membership. What all you can't fit on a 3 3/8 by 2 1/8 card, we can allow you to put that and a whole lot more onto a digital membership card. And so in the case of PassPlay, the membership information can stay up to date. You can provide the membership benefits right there in front of your members every time that they actually display their card. So, and we also know that in a lot of cases, reciprocals are often quite very important. Jana mentioned that they have people buying memberships for some of their reciprocal deals, which is great. And so if they're important to your members, we allow you to bring them into focus. You can list a number of reciprocal organizations on each card by logo. And then each organization also includes a detailed view so that you can easily answer questions about what a reciprocal includes. The other thing is these can be updated at any time, and so you can change them whenever you need to, so that they reflect what you currently are offering. Membership renewal. So beyond just the past, we also help with renewals. And when renewal time starts to approach, we bring that to your members' attention. You can set how many days out from renewal you'd like to send a notification to your members. It happens automatically. So if you set it for 20 days, then 20 days before the membership expires, your members, if they've accepted the permission or if they've allowed permissions for push notifications, will get a message. Their app or their pass also will display a message on top of it when they open the app to show that, hey, your membership is about to expire. And then when the membership actually does expire, the barcode is gone and it's replaced with a message that says that you need to renew your membership. And so we try to do the best we can of making sure that your members renew on time every year. The other big thing that we offer is the ability to put membership benefits right on the card itself. And so you can use this list to have your standard membership benefits that may come with everything. But you can also, because it can be updated all the time and in real time, you can list seasonal benefits or special benefits, things that you don't necessarily offer year round. This could include things like offers from local partners and supporting organizations. You can really be creative. And then when the user taps on the benefit, they can actually get the details to see everything that they need to know about what that particular benefit is. PassPlay is a very actively developed platform. We release new features all the time. And coming up here soon in the future, we're going to be expanding this particular feature. It'll have a new and updated UI to bring everything more to the forefront instead of keeping it as a secondary item like it is now. But we'll be offering redeemable pass benefits. So that means if you offer, say, 5 free parking passes a year to 1 level membership, they can actually use those 5 in the app. And then if you wanted to offer a higher level membership, more of those, then they would have more available to be offered or to use as well. The other thing that we're working on is a guest pass program. And so the guest pass program will actually be a way to have a certain number of guest passes available to your members. And then they will actually be able to share them via email with someone else, so that I can say, invite Lee to go to the zoo with me today, and send her the email and she can get in. She doesn't have to have me and my PassPlay app with her. So working very hard on some of these programs that we think will really benefit our clients. Yeah, this thing does not want to click easily. There she goes. So another thing that we also offer is another communications channel that we can open up for you, and that is push notifications. So in addition to the automated push notifications that you get with when your membership is about to expire, you actually have the ability to create your own push notifications and send them out to your app users, to your members. You can do that with you can include a message as well as a link, and then also an image in the push notification. Right now, it sends to all users who have connected their app to their phone. In the future, we're actually going to be offering more granular push notification capabilities to give you even greater targeting options. All right, so loyalty and rewards. We've talked about that a good bit. And everything really that I've talked about up till now is really kind of fits that beyond the pass idea, but it's still very much related to membership and membership rewards or membership benefits. So here's where our thinking can start to expand, and ideas for engagement can really start to take flight. Imagine all the ways you could create and increase a member's perception of value with a flexible loyalty and rewards program. PassPlay is designed to empower you to craft a loyalty and rewards program that fits your brand, your members' behavior patterns, and your facility. And you can drive valuable interaction with your users through how you create opportunities for people to earn points. Jana gave some great examples of that. And then also the types of rewards you offer. And you can increase engagement by encouraging folks to participate in new things, bring exposure to overlooked gems that may exist at your facility, and then you can create and offer even new and unique access experiences. You can grow your members' connection with your brand by offering rewards that are uniquely available to members. Let's look at a few of the tools that we offer for you guys to be able to do that. So basically how it works, the features are very straightforward. You create opportunities for members to earn points, and then you determine what reward you'll make available to them to redeem. Members then collect points in various ways. These opportunities can be for a wide variety of things, which I'll show you some examples here in a second. And then as members bank more points, you can offer different rewards that they can redeem. So the way they earn points, 3 different ways. So one, they can scan QR codes. Jana showed you a photo of some QR codes that they have posted around their facility. You can put QR codes absolutely anywhere. They'll work on a device, on a screen. They can be printed, they can be signs. They can be restricted as far as how they work. So they can be restricted by location, so that if you wanted to make sure somebody was actually on site at your location when they scan the QR code, you can do that. You can restrict it for specific days. So you could say this is only good on Tuesdays, or this is good from the 1st to the 5th, however you wanted to do that. And it even restricted to specific times. And you can also restrict how frequently someone can claim those points. So if it's a one-time only thing, a once-a-day thing, something like that, you can prevent people from really abusing the system and racking up points when they're not really doing what you're hoping that they're doing. The other way you can do it is through links. So it could be a CTA, the URL. Each point opportunity has a URL that you can use that will allow points to be added to the to their account when it's open on a mobile device. You can send those same URLs via email, and then that link can also work from any web page. And then you also have the opportunity to directly add points to any membership for any of the opportunities that you've created in PassPlay. So the process to swap points for rewards is very simple. The PassPlay user chooses the reward they want from your catalog, and then the whole thing happens on screen. So you don't have to have integration with your point of sale system or anything like that. It all happens right there on the app. Direct issue rewards. So in addition to being able to just give a reward to a specific person, we have a new feature set out that lets you create campaigns where you can actually directly give rewards to different members. You can send rewards via a campaign to members based on membership type, specific members where you would pick individual members. You can send it to active memberships, so anyone that is actually connected their app to their membership, you can send to them. And then also connected or disconnected memberships. So if you wanted to say, hey, we know you haven't connected your membership yet, but if you'll do it, you'll get 700 points or something like that. You're able to do that with disconnected memberships as well. So a lot of ways to offer points or to issue rewards to your members. All right, so here's some ideas for how you can actually give people points. These are some of the more creative things that we've seen folks do. The number of ideas out there are really unlimited. So a lot of times we've seen members or clients post QR codes in areas where you'd like people to visit to encourage traffic, to encourage people to go to those different areas. We've seen people add a bit of fun to the process and gamify things. So let people search for different QR codes of different values to scan them. We've also done it where people try to make activities more appealing. For example, maybe if you ride the tram 3 times, you've earned enough points to purchase a 4th one for free, something like that. You can work with your partner organizations to put your QR codes in their location to encourage your members to support those who support you. You also get some pretty interesting data about how your marketing materials are working then as well. You can offer points for attending events or participating in special efforts as well. The key consideration here is really important to think about. The amount of effort you ask from a member should have a somewhat proportional value in the number of points you reward. So if you're gaining value from your member's value return should also be pretty proportional. What do I mean by that? Basically, like as a reward, a water bottle sticker has little value. What did the member have to do to get that? Hopefully not a whole lot. Whereas something like a behind the scenes encounter has much more value and is much more impactful. And so a member should or would be willing to work a little harder to gain such a reward. So here's some rewards ideas. These come from several of our clients. So kind of the same idea though with equivalent value or proportional value. The value that is the value of the reward that the member gains needs to have been somewhat proportional to the work that it required for them to be able to get it. One of my favorite ideas so far that we've seen a member or a client do is they've created a line of members only gear that they're giving out. And so you have to be a member to get it. And the only way to get it is through their loyalty and rewards program. So they've created t-shirts and other things. Right now they're offering insulated cooler bags, an umbrella, and a tote bag. And so all of it branded just for members. Very cool idea. The other ideas that are out there are like create additional incentive and purchase ideas. Like Jana was saying, you're not going to just buy popcorn when it's hot out, get the free popcorn when it's hot outside. You're going to get a Coke as well. So things like that give you a way just to really kind of drive home that extra value that you're offering through your rewards program. All right, so real quick on the roadmap. So I mentioned a couple of things. There it is. That are coming soon. So shareable guest passes, that's a big deal. We hope that our clients are going to be able to take great advantage of that. Redeemable benefits. So the idea of having a certain number of parking passes or something that you can give away that is tied to a membership where you can have increasing amounts at different membership levels. Activity-driven points. So to be able to say, hey, if you've renewed early or you renewed on time, so we're going to give you extra points for that. Different ways to encourage that membership renewal to happen often. Additional push notification targets. So like I mentioned right now, you can send to all members, but in the future, we'll be offering additional ways to send push notifications based on different attributes of your clients as well. And then customer requests. That's a big deal. I mentioned that PassPlay is a very actively managed program. A few times a year, we actually hold meetings or interviews with our customers in small groups where we say, what have you been doing? What's working? What's not working? What could we build to make better for you? We've actually got several features that have been released in the last 2 or 3 months that came out of those member interviews. So we are very interested in hearing from you guys and knowing what it is that's going to make PassPlay and more valuable for you. And that's all I've got to talk about. I think right now we're up for any questions that you guys may have or answering any questions you may have already submitted.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Jana and Matt, for all that great info. I know I got some great ideas, even though I'm not in arts and cultural world, unfortunately. We did have a few questions that come in, and I know that we're close to being at time here, so we'll just kind of go through a few of them. I did see a few asking for the deck and for the recording. So yes, I will make sure everybody gets those things tomorrow when I generate that and upload it to YouTube and so on. So just wanted to say that. I did get a question, and I think this is specifically for Jana. They don't offer digital memberships or a loyalty program now. It's something that they've been wanting to do for a while, but having trouble convincing upper management that it is necessary for their membership program. So Jana, I guess walk us through what you did to convince them that y'all needed to do PassPlay.
Yeah, absolutely. So, our Friends of Sunset Zoo board actually saw it from a different zoo that they were visiting. A couple of people were like, "Hey, like these other zoos have this digital membership, and they seem to have great rewards for their, members and all this type of stuff." And so it kind of sparked from there. And then I went to the Association of Zoos and Aquariums conference, and I met with a couple of different providers, and Speak Creative was the one that had everything we were kind of looking for. And we always knew that we wanted to push going more digital instead of we were printing the plastic cards. We were printing out the entire list of benefits. We were using stamps. Like it was just an obscene amount of money that we were spending on all of the supplies when in reality, having the digital membership was going to be cheaper overall and more conservation focused. So that was the biggest driver for us, was saying, hey, look at this cost savings and look at all of these extra perks for membership that we're going to get. And just trying to, I would say as well, trying to keep as much data as you possibly can if you are able to bring a digital membership on board with a loyalty program to show the return on investment as you move forward. Like I said, we were lucky that our board was like, heck yes, and our director was like, heck yes, as we were kind of going through it. So once again, I would say we're probably the odd man out in that. I understand it's hard to do that convincing, but the more data and comparison of the print of the plastic cards and how much it costs. Stamps are super expensive these days, and I'm sure it's going to be a better deal for you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jana. Got another question in. I think this one is going to be for Matt on some reciprocal benefits. So this question is, my museum has some additional benefits for specific membership levels like the ASTC passport program. Members are able to continue receiving benefits outside of their organization with proof of their active membership with us. Is there a way to include the requirements such as a logo through the app for them to receive their additional benefits at another location? And ASTC, oh, it's already got answered. Yes, that's our science and technology, our groups. So Matt, I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, so I will let you take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. So on the membership card in the app, there's a section for reciprocals. You can tap it to expand it, and then it will show a number of logos that are there. And then if you tap on the logo bar, it will go to a new screen that shows an entire list of all the reciprocal logos that were there, and then a description for the program for each one. So yeah, absolutely, is totally doable. Great question.
Awesome. All right, we had a few more come in, and if I know we're over the hour, so if anyone needs to hop, that's totally fine. The next question would be for, looks like, well, both of you can probably answer this one. This group currently uses a different digital membership provider, and they're having a big issue with support. So wondering kind of what PassPlay support looks like. So I would say, Matt, being one of the creators of the solution, would love to hear your perspective, and then Jana, yours as well as a customer.
Yeah, so I could definitely help with that. Everybody that works on the PassPlay product is a staff member at Speak Creative. That includes the people that help support it. So the same people that help support our website CMS system also help support PassPlay. The other people that help support PassPlay are me and the lead architect and lead developer behind it as well. So his name's also Matt, so it makes it really easy. But we are definitely highly accessible. When you have questions, we want to make sure that there are ways for you to get answers. We offer a support form now that you can fill out to request information. Very soon, we're going to be upgrading to a chat style support feature inside of the admin system that will go back into our regular support channel. Right now, I also do all the onboarding for new clients. And so if you join up with us, I'll walk you through to your training, show you how your site works or your pass works with your membership, and you'll have my email address and can ask me questions too if you need help. So we want to make sure that you have all the support you need.
From our standpoint, it was great to work with the Mats because with being a city facility, we have a lot of red tape that we have to go around a lot of the time or get special permission, or like we have a very complicated POS system. So we had to work heavily with the Mats on how to make it work for us. And so once again, Matt is somebody that I'm very comfortable knowing and working with because I've been working with Matt now for almost, what, 2.5 years at this point on this project-ish. So once again, that support and having the people that you're always talking to be the people that you know you're talking to, like it's great. So the support's been there on that end. And then from like our user standpoint, I don't think we've had any complaints on support, whether it's us taking care of it really quickly because the system is so user friendly, or us shooting a message over to Matt being like, hey, this is happening, and it's quickly resolved, or once again through normal support. I don't think we've had any complaints.
Perfect. All right, I'll just do this last one because I know we're over time. Someone just wanted a quick rundown of the different membership CRMs that we use. So I think I'm gonna take this one, and correct me if I miss one. Blackbaud, so All True, and then soon to be Razor's Edge, given they're releasing the membership API. Acme, Tessitura, Acesso, Sentiment. Did I get them all? I know we work from spreadsheets too.
Galaxy Gateway,
Gateway, I knew I missed one.
and
Yes, Gateway Galaxy. Perfect. Someone asked about Versailles. Yes, actually, we are in talks looking at Versailles now, because that's another one that has come up recently with people having that system. So good question. The short answer is we can probably make it work. Someone asked, do we have current clients using Sentiment? Yes, we do. We have quite a few, I believe, using that.
we do.
Yep. I think we were just at their conference too, not too long ago. But yes, we sure do. All right. Well, I will wrap it there. I plug this in the chat, but if you will be at either one of these conferences, so ACM is Children's Museum Conference in Albuquerque. I personally will be there. Please come say hi. That's one of my favorite conferences I go to each year. And then if you are going to the American Museum Members Conference in Cleveland, stop by as well. Our CEO, Jacob, will be there and would love to say hi and chat with you. So both of those conferences are coming up in 3 weeks. So if you're coming, definitely come say hi. And then I also want to give a huge thank you to Jana and Matt for hopping on. And then a big thank you to all of our attendees. So many of you still stuck around, even though we went about 10 minutes over. So thanks for coming. You'll receive follow-up directly from me tomorrow with the webinar deck and the recording. And then you can find any resources that we have on our website. That's passplay.io. And we will see you next time. We plan to do these bi-monthly, so you can catch us again end of June for the next one.